Welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. This one another Ogbonge. May we watch this video together.
And we have to get it right. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's get it right. If we get it right, we have had many interventions in this country. So let's work as a team. Let's work as a family to actualize our goal. This country has to work.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, there are alleged report that Tinubu is ready to drop Shettima, but recently we heard the presidency come and say that there is nothing of such, but we know that for a fact that there's no smoke without fire. But do you think Tinubu will drop Shettima, come 2027? Do you think that is a credible candidate that would outperform Shettima in 2027?
Let me tell you very honest truth to Nigerians, with what is happening to Nigeria currently now, with the president coming out to accept failure of his government, and you know that Shettima is responsible for the economic policy according to the Nigerian constitution. The vice president is the one that's in charge of the economy, and what it means that he is the one that will lead the economy of the country based on his constitution obligation. Then secondly, also, I think to an extent, apart from the administrative policies, Shettima claimed that he will be responsible for anything that has to do with insecurity, and that was the statement he made before. And
during the campaign?
Yeah, during the campaign. And all of this now has seemed to be in a colossal failure on the side of APC administration. But there is seemingly uneasy calm war breeding between Shettima and the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigerians are asking questions because recently we noticed that the vice president Shettima has been less functional in his role as the vice president, and people keep on speculating there must be something wrong with that. And before the president left the country for about 2 weeks and thereafter to France, it was discovered that he never handed over government to Shettima, meaning that all is not well. And unfortunately for Shettima, there's this speculation that he was the one that led Buhari from Daura to Kaduna to position him for consultation ahead of 2027 election. But there is war in ASOROCK currently now. And that war, according to what we are hearing, has been triggered by the Lagos boys who does not want to see any northern influence or any Fulani influence supposedly within the ASOROCK game that is going on. But we are hearing that 2027 that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has concluded plans to excuse Shettima as running mate come 2027, signaling that all is not well. If that news is something to write on, that means a big catastrophe looms ahead of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election campaign. Because if that is the case, and Shettima got to have a handy information based on this, that means that's the end of his role in trying to contribute to the success of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's ambition. And secondly, there has been so many things that has been linked to some of these factors surrounding ASOROCK, especially the support that insurgency in Nigeria is getting from northern politicians, and they're giving their way of response when we notice that Nigerians are being killed on daily basis, and some of the top people in the northern part of the country, including Sultan of Sokoto, and some of them too, has not come out decisively, to take a stand over Fulani, conquest agenda, meaning they might be likely in support of what is going on in order to achieve whatever reason they have in mind towards that. So it is going to be war between the South and the of course, the North, and we don't know how that is going to end at the end of the day. at the end of the day, there's crisis breeding everywhere. Here in ASOROCK, the Senate is in disarray. The rep members, the Federal House of Representatives are currently in crisis, and everything seems to be, working against each other in ASOROCK. What will be the Shettima's fate, and what will be Bola Ahmed Tinubu's fate at the end of the day when the campaign train of 2027 finally kicks off? That means it is going to be a war between North and South, and that gives us an insight, a signal of what is happening in the southern part of the country politically, where we see most governors of southern extraction are moving to the ruling party, and we are not seeing any form of game like that being replicated in the part of the north, showing that it is going to be a serious battle between the south and the north at the end of the day. And whether the north is going to see Igbo alliance to be able to defeat Tinubu at the end of the day, we have not seen that come up to really as we're able to decide or to know what is actually going on. But the news is breaking that likely that Tinubu, and that might be the issue that sparked the rumor of lack of relationship between the two big men who are in Abuja there, and we can see that clearly that news might be as a result of Shettima's position, and might be as a result of Bola Ahmed's position ahead of 2027. The North is insisting that Shettima never will not, or Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not be re-elected as the next president of Nigeria in 2027. Whether it is going back to the north, we don't know. Whether a southerner is going to retain it, we don't know. But currently now, and another factor why Bola Ahmed Tinubu might likely drop Shettima is very glaring. The Shettima has not been able to measure up to a certain standard, maybe that would have convinced Bola Ahmed Tinubu to still retain him as his running mate 2027. It's a very big issue in Nigeria, and that will define, another political direction of which Nigerians are still waiting to see how everything is going to, flare up. But that is the issue we are having on the ground. But look at the way it stands now, politically. Tinubu is already warming up to see how he's going to consolidate and complete his 8 years in office. Whether the North is going to agree to that, we don't know. But that is the fact on ground. Thank you.
Okay, but we saw when Buhari was in power that whenever he wants to travel for medical trip or vacation, he handed over to Osinbajo and making Osinbajo the acting president back then. But with Tinubu, we've seen whenever he wants to travel, he has even very dark man have come out to confirm this and was so upset with this. He said, why is Tinubu not trusting Shettima, giving him power to, at least to act as an acting president? Is it that Tinubu don't trust the North? Or is it that, just like you said, is it that Shettima is not capable enough to, hold forth for him?
It is in two ways. We don't know whether Shettima has not been tested in that position to be able to know his capacity. But it's not every time that Buhari wanted to travel that he hand over to Shettima. There are times where he will just get out without handing over to Osinbajo. But this Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all the number of times he has been away out of the country, we have not seen him transmit power to the vice. It means that he is not comfortable with Shettima, being around him, or he would have sensed one or two things that he's not comfortable with, and that was why he was not able to be comfortable enough to transmit power to Shettima. And also, it might be some kind of intelligence report he has gotten that, after some time, Shettima might not be in support of some of the policies that Tinubu is bringing, as we can be perceived to be anti-North, especially during the tax reform policy. Yes, and the issue of some of the policies that Tinubu was actually bringing up, and having find out that the policy is not working, I think Shettima personally withdraw from active support of engaging himself with the presidency at the end of the day. That is what actually happened in that angle. But how the whole thing is going to play out, considering the fact that maybe there's some information that Shettima has that Tinubu might not be able to make it, especially now that the US government has decided to release his drug case file, it might also jeopardize Tinubu's chances of coming back to power. And secondly, the issue of North, the core North leaders, the Fulanis, who feel that Tinubu has betrayed them by not retaining them in some sensitive positions in the country as an affront. Maybe that's the reason why we are seeing gradual withdrawal of Tinubu's support or Shettima's support for Tinubu 2027. And having said that, he also sending a certain body language to the Northerners and to Shettima that I cannot trust you again, and this relationship will be over any moment that this ticket is over. That will be the end of it. And we are hearing that there's speculation that is already going out trying to shop for a replacement of Shettima at the end of the day. Nigerians will begin to wonder how the whole thing comes to this point where his running mate will be removed ahead of 2027.
And we have to understand that Tinubu has come out to break the wings of the political oligarchs in the north, which are largely the Fulanis. We must understand that in the few days ago, or in the past few days, the Northerners have been plotting, twisting, cooking all manners of, setup just to ensure that Tinubu does not win come 2027. Before I go, I am not a defender of Tinubu. But what we must understand is Tinubu is a representation of the South, whether we like it or not. The northern oligarchs are meeting, led by El-Rufai and Atiku. They are doing everything possible to ensure that the South becomes politically irrelevant. Okay? They are doing everything to ensure that, or to prove to us that without the North, no Southerner can become a president. So they are plotting to break that friendly agreement, that gentleman agreement that we've had, that for every northern 8 years, we are going to have a subsequent 8 years of the South. We can see that they are pushing Atiku forward. They are going to see Buhari. We can now see Buhari speaking against Tinubu, saying that Tinubu is not doing a people-centric government. We are seeing all manners of campaigns against Tinubu, that Tinubu is too what? Is too Yoruba-centric. Don't forget that it was Buhari that started this nepotism. When Buhari came on board, the Igbos never complained. The Yorubas did not complain. Buhari appointed his Fulani brothers everywhere. The ones that were incompetent, the ones that were competent, everywhere was filled up. Right? We were quiet. But we can see that those that are supposed to be complaining under this Tinubu regime, who are the Igbos, are even absorbing it and just playing along. Because an appointment list was released, we found out that when the North as a whole have about 75 appointments, the Southeast had 60. But yet the North are still saying that they must regain the power because they are the Fulani oligarchs that decide the prosperity, the political game or dynamics of the Nigerian government.
But maybe we get the picture what the North is saying, that they are not interested in presidency 2027. What they don't want, they want a Southerner, but not Tinubu. And this arrangement seems to have split Shettima and Tinubu into a deep, suspicion and reservation. That is one of the reasons why Shettima have to go to Daura and lead Buhari back to Kaduna for politics.
So guys, let's hear from you. Kindly drop your comment below in the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Share this video, let it go viral. And Nigerians understand what is happening today in the Nigerian political landscape. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye for now.